Hi, this is Norris here, and today I'm going to be walking you through Lesson 1.1, Getting Started. In this activity, we will be learning how to manage and organize our files on our Google Drive. So before I get started, I do want to go over our objectives, our what, why, and how. So if you could just follow along with your eyes and your brain as I read this to you. So what do I need to learn? How do I use Google Apps to create, collaborate, and share documents effectively? Why do I need to learn it? Understanding how to use productivity tools correctly will make creating, editing, and sharing documents easier and will help me be more marketable in the future. Marketable means that more companies will be willing to hire you because you have these skills. And finally, how will I know that I've learned it? I can successfully create folders to organize my files as I complete each lesson in this module with 100% accuracy. So you do need to score a 10 out of 10 to get the maximum number of points and move on to the next lesson. With this assignment, you'll be submitting 3 screenshots. If you don't know how to take a screenshot on a Mac computer, if you look down at your keyboard, you're going to hold the Shift button, the Command button, and the number 4 at the same time. So if I demonstrate this for you, you'll see that my mouse will turn into a crosshair. So I'm going to hold the Shift and the Command and the number 4 at the same time. And now I can click and drag my mouse to whatever size I need my screenshot to be. And then when I let go, it will save it onto my desktop. If I don't let go and I don't want this anymore, I can just hit the escape button and it will disappear. Underneath our overview for this assignment and the skills, which I'd like you to read on your own, is what we're going to be naming and coloring our files and our screenshots, as well as our document that we're going to be creating today, where we will be typing the sentence, getting started with Google Drive. Okay. So before we do anything, what I'd like for you to do is open a tab with your Drive. So you're going to go ahead and go to your Drive. And now that you're in your Drive, what we're going to do is we're going to split our screen. So I'm going to click and drag my tab for my Drive down. Okay, so again, click and drag. And then I'm going to click and drag from the side so that it's about halfway. Okay, and then I'm just going to resize it. And I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. So click and drag. And the reason why we're doing this is so that you can watch this video while you're completing the steps. So watching the video in one tab while you're completing the steps in the other tab. If you could please pause this tutorial and get your desktop set up the way that you see mine here, and then just return when you are done. Okay. So now what we're going to do is start getting those files together. So if I scroll down, and you can watch on this video and then complete the steps with me, we're going to name one main folder, 2023 Intro to Computers. Okay, and then we have folders that are going to go inside of that with these names and these colors. Okay, so on my Drive, where I'm just on my main Drive, I've clicked on my Drive. This is where I want to be. So my Drive is blue. Please make sure that you're on my Drive. I'm going to go to New. I'm going to go to New Folder. And I'm just going to start typing that first folder name, 2023 Intro to Computers. Once I've typed that, I'm going to hit Create. And you'll see that my folder has shown up here. Now you don't have to try to guess what I'm typing. Everything that I'm typing is listed here on the assignment page on my left. So again, use the assignment page to help you follow along with what I'm doing. Okay, so now what I need to do is open this folder so I can create these other folders inside of it. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to double click, and now it's open. I know it's open because it says My Drive and the 2023 Intro to Computers folder. Okay, this is exactly where I want to be. Now, there are two ways to create a new document or folder or whatever inside of another folder on my drive. You can either click the new button like we've just done and new folder, or in the space where your folder has its files listed. I have none, you will have some soon. I can right click on my mouse and I can select new folder here. So again, either the new button or right click. Okay. So I'm going to create another new folder, and like my assignment page says, I'm going to name it My Docs, and I'm going to color it Rainy Sky. I'm going to go ahead and name this My Docs, My DOCS, create. And once it's been created, I can right click, I can organize, and then I can hover my mouse until I find the color Rainy Sky. Okay, so again, right click, organize, and I'm looking for Rainy Sky, so I'm going to hover my mouse over, first one I picked. Okay, now I'm going to do my next one. Again, right click, new folder. The assignment page says I'm calling this My Sheets. Create. And then the color is asparagus. So I'll right click, organize, and I'm going to hover my mouse until I find asparagus. Spearmint, Vern Fern, asparagus. Okay, and now I'm just going to continue with the rest of these files inside of my 2023 Intro to Computers folder. If you could continue to do that yourself as well, pause this tutorial and finish the rest, or you can continue on with me and we'll do this together. So just one more. I'm going to right click, new folder. I can also new folder. I'm going to call this one My Drawings. And I'm going to color this one Cardinal. Right click, organize. And I'm going to hover until I find Cardinal. Okay. So go ahead and pause this tutorial and do your these other three here. Okay, so we should be done with all of our folders that we're going to use right now in the class. So the first thing that we're going to do is create a screenshot or take a screenshot, and that will be the one that we name this first file name. Now it's possible you've already done this next step, but I'm going to go through it anyway. So what I need to do is make sure that my files are being saved on my desktop and not in some random folder on my computer. So next to my emoji or my Bitmoji of my account picture, there's a vertical ellipses on the right hand side. So in the far right hand corner, there are the three dots. Click on that. Scroll down to settings. Click on that. Click on downloads. And if it says desktop, you're good and we're done with that. If it doesn't say desktop, you're going to click on change and you're going to make sure that you select desktop in the list on the left hand side. There's a desktop here and there's a desktop here. It's the same thing. It doesn't matter as long as it says desktop, and then click select. Okay, so we're going to make sure that we save our files onto our desktop. What that means is that they're going to save over here on our desktop of our computer. Okay, that makes them easier to find rather than to try to find what folder that they might have gone into. Okay, so we're going to take our first screenshot and we're going to name it with our first and last name and lesson 1A. So I'm going to go ahead and my screenshot should show the words my drive, 2023 Intro to Computers, and all of your file folders. The purpose of the screenshot is to show me that you created this folder on your drive and these folders inside your Intro to Computers folder with the file colors changed. Okay, so I'm going to again look at my keyboard, Shift, Command, and the number 4, and then click and drag and let go. Okay, it's going to show up down here. I'm going to wait until it disappears. And you can see it's saved on my desktop. So now what I want to do is I want to right click. I want to rename. And I'm going to give it this name that I see here. Okay. So let's see. First and last name. So my first name for you is Mrs. and my last name is Norris. You put your own first and last name, not mine, your own first and last name. And then we want lesson 1_1A. And the underscore is on your keyboard. You hold the shift button and click the button that's in between the 0 and the plus sign. So we have capital L, the number 1, underscore 1, capital A. Okay. So we're just going to leave this here for now. All right. And I want to do something really quickly. Okay. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create a Google Doc inside of our folder. So over here on my right-hand window, I'm going to click the New button and then Google Doc. And we just want this to be a blank document. Okay, you can do the same thing by right-clicking Google Doc and blank document. Now we need to name this document with our first and last name and lesson 1.1, and we're going to type getting started with Google Drive. So the first thing that I'm going to do is change the name by clicking where it says untitled document, and I'm going to put my first and last name and lesson 1.1. When I hit the return button, it changes the file name for this Google Doc. And now I'm going to type in my typing field, getting started with Google Drive. Now, Google automatically saves my work as long as I'm online, so I don't have to do anything to save. I just know that it's saved and I'm good. Okay, so I've changed the file name and I've typed the sentence that I need to type. Now I'm going to go ahead and close this document by clicking on the X on the tab here. So let's go ahead and close it. Now I need to move this into my Docs folder. So to move it, I'm going to click once and let go. And then I'm going to drag to my Docs folder. So again, click once and let go, and click and drag into my Docs. Okay. So one more time, I'm going to click once, let go, drag into my Docs folder. Now I need to take that second screenshot. So what I'm going to do is open my Docs folder by double clicking. Again, open your My Docs folder by double clicking, open My Docs, and then we're going to take a screenshot that shows my drive, Intro to Computers, and my Docs. Okay. So Shift, Command, the number 4, click and drag And then once it disappears, I'm going to rename it with first and last name and L1_1B. So right click, rename, and then just start typing first name, last name, L1_1B. Okay. Again, we're going to leave this here for now. And I'm going to go back to my 2023 Intro to Computers folder. And I'm going to open my 2023 files folder. Okay. Here we're going to create a folder for the screenshots that we're going to take for coding. So I'm going to go ahead and right click, new folder, and we're going to call this coding, and that's it, coding, coding, and I will add it to the list so that by the time you watch this tutorial, it will be added to the Drive folders list. So coding, and then hit create. So everything that we have that's about coding, we're going to save into this folder, and this will be our final screenshot. So I'm going to shift command the number 4, then I'm going to drag and drop. Okay. And then we're going to rename it first name, last name, L1_1C, and then hit return. Okay. All right. So now we need to submit these assignments. So very easy to submit. What we're going to do is we are going to just click and drag the pictures from here into our rocket ship that we see here. Okay. So I'm going to click and drag and then let go. Okay. Now, if these just say screenshot, I'm going to send them back to you. Okay. If they don't have the right label on them, I'm going to send them back to you. If you're missing the pictures, I'm going to send it back to you. So just make sure that you followed all of the directions before you submit onto Canvas. Okay. And then you'll click submit assignment and you are good. Okay, now before we move on, we want to get rid of these because we've submitted them. We don't need them anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and click and drag them. Click and drag them into my trash. And as soon as we take a screenshot, it's going to go into our trash can because we don't need it anymore once it's been submitted. Okay, now I want to empty my trash, so I'm going to right click and empty trash. You need to make sure that you make this a regular habit where you're emptying the trash from your desktop so that you can save room on your computer and it works faster. Okay. All right, so you are done with this assignment. I will look it over and let you know if you can move on to lesson 2.